Rory McIlroy is one of the modern-day golfing greats, and in this video we're going to take a look at the clubs the Northern Irishman is currently using out on tour. The driver is clearly McIlroy's biggest strength. He regularly appears at the top of the stats pages in terms of distance and strokes gained off the tee. For example, he has regularly averaged well over 300 yards on the PGA Tour, and since 2016 he's placed no worse than 6th in the strokes gained off the tee category. Part of what makes him so good with the driver is his speed, and he has chosen models throughout his career that allow him to get the most out of that speed. As such, he has tended to go for lower spin drivers that are set with slightly lower lofts than many other players would go for. Currently, he has the TaylorMade Sim 2 in the bag, which has 10.5 degrees of loft, but we believe this is set slightly lower at 8.5 degrees. This also has a Fujikura Ventus Black 6X shaft in. McIlroy always carries a 3-wood, which is usually set to a loft of between 13.5 and 15 degrees. This loft tends to depend on the golf course, as does the adjustability setting too, as sometimes he puts his fairway wood into more of a draw setting at places like Augusta National. Right now, his TaylorMade Sim 3-wood has 13.5 degrees of loft and a Mitsubishi White 80X shaft. In the more recent stages of his career, the Northern Irishman has been more willing to change his fairway wood than he was when he first came out on tour. For example, back when he was with Titleist in the early stages of his professional career, his trusty 906F fairway wood stayed in the bag for a number of years. McIlroy appears to make his next club choice based on the challenge of the course. We have seen him use either a 5-wood, a hybrid, or a utility iron. However, his most common bag setup sees him carry a 5-wood, currently a 19-degree TaylorMade Sim with the same Mitsubishi shaft, albeit 10 grams heavier. It is perhaps no surprise to hear that when it comes to irons, McIlroy is a blade user and has been for the vast majority of his career. Of late, he has chopped and changed his irons though. Recently, he had the TaylorMade P7 MBs in the bag before swapping to a set of P730s. However, his current model is the TaylorMade Roars Proto, which were part of a custom series of irons made for a number of prominent TaylorMade staff players, including Dustin Johnson. Rory's are fitted with Project X 7.0 shafts, and they usually go from 4-iron down to pitching wedge. However, he has been known to add a more forgiving longer iron into the setup from time to time. Similarly, at the bottom end of the bag, he has at times also removed the pitching wedge in favour of a wedge-specific model instead of the set wedge. Speaking of specific wedges, at most events McIlroy carries a whole selection of different options. He then caters his specific setup to the individual challenge of the tournament week. Now, because of this, his wedge setup changes fairly frequently. From our research, the most common setup seems to be a pitching wedge, part of his iron set, before transitioning down into 52, 56 and 60 degree models, and currently these are all TaylorMade milled grind 2 designs. We believe the latter two wedges are the Tiger Woods versions, which have a unique grind on each sole designed by Tiger himself. Onto the putter, and McIlroy has used a number of different shapes, styles and models through the years. He's used large mallets like the TaylorMade Spider to mid mallets like the Scotty Cameron Studio Select Fastback, which he used to win his very first European Tour title in Dubai in 2009. He has also used blade models too from Nike, Scotty Cameron and the TaylorMade Juno. In fact, his last major victory at the 2014 USPGA Championship at Valhalla came with a Nike blade putter. His current gamer, though, is the mid-mallet TaylorMade Spider X Hydro Blast, which is a style of putter he has won a number of tournaments with. The final part of his setup is a TaylorMade TP5X golf ball, and through his career, McIlroy has tended to veer towards lower spinning options. With Titleist, McIlroy used the Pro V1X, and with Nike, he put the lower spinning resin black into play rather than the brand's platinum version. So there you have it. That's our look inside the bag of Rory McIlroy and the specifics relating to his equipment choices.